Hey, hi everyone. Hope everyone is fine. Okay, let me quickly get into the. I'll just open TradingView also separately here so that we can. TradingView chart is not clear. I would recommend people to not take a trade using TradingView for today at least. Yeah. VGA, what is VGA? Very good afternoon. Okay, cool Kamlesh sir, cool. How is your expiry trading going? Okay, we will open certain charts here just to ensure that everyone is able to see this thing, right? I use OI Pulse only for my open interest analysis, right? Again, it's not a recommendation for anyone. I have been comfortable given last few years, right? I've been using it. So again, till you guys are trading live with me on expiry, you guys can use it, right? I will try and ensure that we are able to do it with everyone. We'll give some time, let people join in. We'll give some time. Morning I was looking at a short trade. I only got one trade today. That was on the call side. That has given decent returns, right? I think it has given more than 1:2. I exited at 1:1.5, but otherwise we do not have any good returns coming in there, right? Folks, any questions, right? You guys can do send your questions. Don't hesitate in sending your questions. Yeah, I will check. Okay, here. So we have 22 users. Should we give couple more minutes or should we start? I'll quickly post here. Okay. Okay, we have 22 people. Let me just quickly go back and look at market, right? So our analysis very clearly, right, yesterday was we were looking at a gap down, right? A big gap down to go on the bull side, right? We were looking at a big gap down to go on the bull side, right? Market gave us a pleasant surprise. It did not. We were looking at a bull side trade, right? With a big gap down. That did not happen. It was not a big gap down, right? It was a smallish. Good afternoon, Rao sir. It was a smallish gap down, and the problem was today in the morning, right? This particular candlestick, right? The way it is showing here in Zerodha versus TradingView is slightly different. So I looked at the TradingView chart here in 15 minutes, right, and I felt this candle, right, is a long-legged doji. So I was hoping that if it breaks below this level, we will get a good shot, right? Below 43,220 we will get a good shot. That was the initial analysis. Also, if I look at the components and if I come here on the component chart, right, in the first 15 minutes, if you see the market, right, barring, and my thesis was HDFC will stay range bound and it can hit the resistance at 1710 to 1720, but ICICI and Axis were looking bearish to me, right? And if they get a the market could fall decently well if it opens flat to slight gap up, right? What happened? The ICICI and Axis thesis was correct, right? But HDFC actually HDFC went up and it got support from Kotak, right, midday, when it is actually shot up. Till then there was no trade, right? Luckily for us, this particular trade has not got executed at all, right? This trade on the short side did not get executed, right? So now we were waiting for the trade to get executed on the long side, right? Jigar, you can just check your audio. I think everyone is able to listen, right? Everyone is able to listen. I can personally hear my voice. I have the other one where it's going on, right? Yeah. Now I'll come back to this chart, right, where I did the analysis and I sent it, right? I'm taking out this trend line. This trend line has not worked in the morning, right? This trade never got executed. So what was the other trade that we were looking at? If you see here, right, this was the space where we were looking at a long side of the trade, right? Now when you're looking at a long, there is a trend line, there is this closing candle as well, right? So market needs to sustain and close above the closing candle here, right? Market needs to sustain and close, right? It should not give just a breakout with a wick. It should give a solid body closing and sustain. And you don't take a trade on breakout, you wait for the breakout to be retested, right? I'll just draw this line again. Yeah, you wait for a breakout and a retest, right? Where was the retest? Retest was here, right? Because it went up, it came here, right? This was a good trade that we could capture where market gave more than 1:2. Again, unfortunately, because the movement upside, right, was very choppy, the my trade got executed and it was a small premium, right? 43,300 if you see the premium, it was a very small premium here, right? My trade got executed somewhere. I'll just expand this chart, guys. I will just expand this chart, and I was observing it around this level, right? 146 level. Here I was observing it, right? At this space, right, I took an entry. So it went up, it retested around 149. I took an entry. My stop loss was 128. I had given a 20-point stop loss there, right? It was a 20-point stop loss. Beyond this, it's given roughly 60 points, but I don't think anyone would have been able to capture, because went up, came down, went up, this came down, right? Again, I could only capture till 179. This place was a resistance for me on the option chart, right? This place was the resistance for me on the option chart, because it's a closing candle from Friday, right? I think this is a Friday chart. Monday was a holiday. 2nd, 3rd and 4th, right? Market has traded for this particular option in a range, right? So this was the thesis with which we took one trade, right? This was the only trade that we got where we traded, right? Now if I look at it, right, now how is the market positioning? Now let me go back to my option expiry setup, right? Folks, before I go there, any questions that you guys have on the trade that we suggested? Why we were looking at short initially, then when we switched to long, why we went to long? Only one trade we have taken. There is no other movement which has happened in the, there's no big movement which has happened in the market. And guys, I am still confident if market is unable to close beyond 43,530, right, with a 15-minute candle, I am expecting good, Srajal, good. You are doing good trades. I am seeing your trades off late, right, are coming out fairly well. I still remember 6-8 months back, right, when we used to discuss, you used to have some days where you will make money, some days you will lose money, but off late there is a good this thing. Aniket, no calls right now. Wait, I'll explain. Give it some time, right? This is a time when you may get trapped. I will suggest a live trade if we see something, right? We'll focus on the option expiry setup. 43,500 is an institutional strike. So what did I say? If you look at the chart, right? If you look at the chart, where is the chart forming a resistance? It's forming a resistance at 43,503. 43,500 levels, right? And it has not given a solid body closing here, right? It has not given a solid body closing here above the levels, right? So at 43,500 you have a resistance. Market had taken a resistance earlier. Today market has taken the resistance for the first time. We will wait for the second time and see if market is again resisting there, right? Now we come back to our, so this is the first area, right? 43,500 is the option price that we would like to see. Now we go to a 30 or 60 minute the open interest build up, right? Now if I see in the 30 minutes, this guy started with 42 lakhs, is currently at 1 crore 28 lakhs, right? This one was started low. So if you see, right, this guy has been more confident. This guy has added positions, but he is also covering positions here, right? So I will still wait and see if this covering is going beyond, or is it gonna be holding for some time, right? So we'll give it some time and see if there is. So any covering which happens more than 12 lakhs, right? So 23 lakhs is the highest call writing which they have done, but anything beyond 12 lakh, right, that says that they are not confident on holding this position, right? This side more or less they have been confident because they have written, right? Now let's see 43,600 PE, similar story, right? There is nothing which is, there is no build up which we can see right now. Okay, 43,400 put writers are gradually gaining strength. This guy is clearly confused, right? This guy is clearly confused. If you see, right, started with 28 lakh, and this side, this is entire, not entire day. So today if you see, right, because there was no option volume which was pumped in yesterday because of the event in the night, both the sides, right, 43,500 CE or 43,400 or 43,600, right, there is no abnormal, there is no confident build up which has happened, right? I personally feel the expiry could be range bound, right? I personally feel the expiry could be range bound. The hero zero trade that we will get, guys, is not gonna give you 1:10, 1:20 kind of returns. Don't have huge expectation from the hero zero, because if you see 43,400 put writer has gained dominance, 43,500 call writer is gaining dominance, right? Now in an ideal scenario, if this guy gets confused, right, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock once, between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, if this guy gets confused and there is a big build up, right, which happens on the call side later, right? So I want a short covering now in the call which is more than 12 lakhs on this 43,500 strike. I want a covering more than 12 lakhs till 2:30. Then I want new call writers to come in, write 15-20 lakh contracts, and if those, after confusion, right, new people come in and they start writing, then I am expecting one round of covering. It won't be a resistance, it would be a breakout of resistance, and I am expecting short covering in the 43,500 CE after 2:45 or 3 o'clock, right? Guys, is it understood? Is it not understood? Please give a thumbs up so that I at least understand that the concept has been understood in terms of how we are looking at the market from a trade standpoint. Okay, call side understood? Okay, now if I have to take a put, right, how should I view the market, right? Again, you will have to analyze it both the sides, because you don't know which side, right, it will happen, right? So put side, second time the resistance should form, right? I am keeping a 5-minute chart. I need a resistance to happen here, right? Either a resistance or a sweep candle to happen here, right? I need a resistance or a sweep candle to happen here. Sweep candle means I will get something like this. I will get something like this. I will get something like this, right? If I get this kind of candle, I am then looking at this resistance being confirmed. Remember, the body should close below this level, right? There should be a big sweep in 5 minutes, right? and it should give me a candle confirmation down. So this becomes 1, right? This becomes the option, this becomes the chart on the spot, right? Now on 43,500, so I will go back to 43,500 PE, which is an institutional strike, right? It is an institutional strike. It has to, so there is no support here, right? In fact, this could become my resistance when the market is trying to, when put premium is trying to go up, right? Now interestingly, this chart, if you see, is actually showing, I will try to connect maximum points where I get more than 2 points, right? That is where I am interested in. See this, right? This is forming a good base here, right? I will just zoom into 3-minute chart. This is forming a good base here, right? A good base, a trend line, right? If I have to search for a support, it's taking a support somewhere here, right? Takes a dip, forms a sweep candle somewhere here around this level, right? This could be another trade which can trigger around between 50 and 37. We will wait and see where it is taking a support. Ideally it should take one round of support here, then break up. Lower you get, right? At 37 if you get, you can place a 17-point stop loss. The target 1 could go as high as 81, then 91, 134, 173 and 198, right? This is another scenario for this. So spot chart is understood, option chart is understood, these two things, right? Now we will see on this side, right, what exactly should happen clearly, right? Okay, there is no confusion here, but we will wait and see. Let it close till 230, right? So if you see steadily, this guy is at dominance, right? 43,500 call writer is at dominance. There is no confusion that these guys have shown. If these guys, highest put writing they have done is 22 lakhs. If they start covering their puts more than 11 to 12 lakhs here, right? And after 230, fresh put writers come in. After 230, fresh set of put writers come in. Around 245, between 245 and 3 o'clock, these are the put writers who would cover their position, right? Is this understood from a put standpoint, right? So I am talking about both the scenarios where you could get a CE trade or you could get a PE trade, right? If a PE trade gets activated today, how to recognize confusion? Rahul, the way we recognize confusion is the call writing which has happened, right? Maximum, somewhere a covering of nearly 50% or more should happen, right, on that strike. So if you see here, right, there is no covering. Without covering, this guy is continuously gaining strength. Once covering happens, after that a new set of call writers should come in. Those are the guys whom we are trying to trap, the new call writers or new put writers. If you see a huge, yeah, you don't see huge as in what is huge from every expiry it will change. So here if you see, right, and I'm sticking to 43,500, call side you have 23 lakhs. So at least, right, 11 to 12 lakh you need calls to cover their position. Then more than 15-20 new call writers should come in. Those covering rate will give you a, see, the idea is we are targeting short covering move in the last half an hour, right? For hero zero trades, you are targeting a short covering move on the hero zero side, right? So for that to trigger, you need some confusion first, then new people need to step in, and those new people, given they do not have any base, so people who have been shorting since morning, right, they would have averaged their position, they would still be in a profit, they would not exit, right? The others who are new in the market, who have just entered now, created new position, the moment they start seeing their positions in loss, they tend to cover faster. That's the logic of this setup, right? Which is where 43,500 is a logical resistance, where market is also taking a resistance. I am trying to decode it from both call and put standpoint. Yeah, at this point of time, if you see, there is no confusion on call side, right? There is limited confusion on the put side. but we have to wait because you have 15 more minutes for this candle to close, right, from a half an hour standpoint. Guys, any question on this one? Okay, now today's expiry, right, big problem. If you see, this is the only candle where there was volume, only candle. After that, throughout the day, your candles, right, have not had any volume. So if you see, average volume traded for the day, right, is somewhere close to 12 to 13,000 every 3 minutes, right? So there is no possible trade which is available, right? Now again, just in the interest of teaching the setup, right, I will go back to my morning trade that I missed, right? And the reason why I say I missed this trade, in fact in our group, I think Nanda Kumar actually pointed it out, right? Nanda, you pointed it out, and had this trading view chart mishap not happened, right, I would have entered the trade that you were discussing. I'll take out this level, right, and I will tell you, because I always point these things out in the analysis videos, right? What have I been saying? Every day market is doing this, right? It opens at a point, right? Forget everything, just look at this price action. It opens at a point, forms a low, creates a, what I said, right, this kind of price action. So if you remember, when I did a live price action analysis video, right, I said market does an impulse, then it keeps doing this, it does some retracement, and then it goes up, right, in this manner, right? If you remember this kind of price pattern, whenever it forms, right, it is to trap people on the negative side, right, to enter wrong trades, right? This is what happened today. If you see the first candle, right, and I am keeping 15-minute chart, the first candle, if you see the highs and lows, right, this is the zone, and then do you see this zone, right? This, I am just marking the low here, right? This low has not got violated, right? Forget everything, just put a Fibonacci on this one, right? It's trying to take a support at 33%, 38%, right? It's trying to take a support. It has not breached the low, right? So had that the moment long-legged doji is there, there is no body, right? You get confused because body represents actual buyers and sellers, right? Very thin body, right, doesn't represent anything, right? That is a problem. Now in this case, right, now I'll zoom into 5 minutes, right? The setup tends to trigger intraday, because we are looking at intraday only, morning's price action, high, trap candle, high. Do you see this, guys? You see this high, trap candle in between, right? Breakout, retest, here you enter, right? Same thing you see in the option chart as well. Option chart, you would try to see here 43,300 CE, you have this space, right? Somewhere here the price would have got triggered. I think Nanda shared the call live in one of the groups that we are a part of, where he said it's at 310, it could touch the open. I think he had looked at 43,000 CE, and 43,000 CE gave that movement as well. So 43,000 CE, right, had an open and high at this level 385, right? So if you see, this low was not taken out, it was continuously trading in a narrow range like this, right? Same thing which happened there on the option chart, on the spot chart, right, happened here as well on the chart. I think Nanda, you mentioned it at this level, right? I think you mentioned it at 330 if I am not mistaken. You asked me that question and I said I am seeing trading view and I am seeing something else. So that is where, in fact, here, right, was the right place to enter. 313 was the right place to enter. The stop loss was at 287. This was the best trade that one could have done today. because this actually your targets were 384 and wait, yeah, these were your targets. 1.33, where is it? Yeah, these were your targets, right? 420. But this was the best trade that one could have got had the trading view confusion not been there. But again, important thing is, it's okay, we missed a trade, no one took money from our pocket today. We missed a trade, which is fine. I do not have any regrets. But the important thing is, this is a setup, right, which happens in the market, in a trending market, right, which is uptrend continuously or downtrend continuously. Folks, note this setup down. In a downtrend, you will get the same thing, but it will invert. So you will have a downward candle. Market will go up and retest a point, but will not take out the highs of the day, and then will continue the fall. In an uptrending market, you will have a bullish or bearish candle. Market will not break the low, and then it will go up, right? Is the setup understood? Give me a thumbs up if you guys have understood the setup. Folks, setup understood, or sorry, what happened here? I think this got stuck. Guys, is the setup okay? Yeah. So Nanda, you had spotted this trade live, right? I remember you had shared it with the group. I could not take the trade then because the trading view chart, right, had a different story. But it was a good spot. But I hope you had used the same setup. This setup, right, I have been teaching in the, so if you see, right, my daily analysis, the first trade, right, that I typically tend to suggest, where I say you wait for 15 minutes, is basis this setup, right? The idea is, when you guys are joining us live, आप भी सीखें हमारे साथ इन सेटअप्स को, राइट? द आइडिया इज नॉट टू ओवरवेलम यू, आइडिया इज नॉट टू कंफ्यूज यू, आइडिया इज नॉट टू मेक मार्केट डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, बट द आइडिया इज टू मेक मार्केट इजी फॉर यू. जितने सिंपल सेटअप्स आप यूज करेंगे उतना इफेक्टिव होगा आपका ट्रेडिंग, उतना आप ट्रेडिंग को एवरी डे इन डे आउट कर पाओगे. एंड नहीं सेटअप एग्जीक्यूट होता है, डोंट वरी, डोंट टेक एन एडिशनल ट्रेड till you actually spot something in the market which you can trade, right? Now for the time being, market has not done anything for us to take a trade. ठीक है, मार्केट में डाउनफॉल आपको कहां तक आ कब मिलेगा? ये एक ट्रेंड लाइन बना रहा है, ठीक है, ये एक ट्रेंड लाइन बना रहा है. नो जीरो हीरो ट्रेड्स गाइस फॉर नाउ, right? No zero hero trades for now. We will discuss about the zero hero trades as I have discussed about the setup. We are waiting right now. There is no entry, guys. Again, focus more on learning in the live sessions. I am teaching setups, right? The idea of teaching setups is tomorrow, right? If you don't attend the sessions due to some time constraint, or we are not able to take the sessions, you guys still have the benefit of knowing how to trade these setups, right? If I teach you how to trade these setups, it makes your life easy going forward. If you have not understood something, you can actually come back, see the YouTube videos and correct it, right? Now if you see, right, yes, since the time we have started the live session, market has been playing in this small range of 432 to 490, right? We will see what the option chart is saying, right? So again, now I was saying wait till 2:30, both sides writing, right? If this thing continues, you may not get a good zero hero trade, or probably I would recommend don't trade a zero hero trade, because there is nothing in the market which is suggesting any sort of move which could come, right? It is range bound, it is continuously ranging up and down. So my recommendation in such case would be, don't take a zero hero trade. Wait, we will wait and see, right? Zero hero trade needs a lot of patience. आपको रुकना है जब तक आपको ट्रेड सही ना मिले. Continue waiting till you get a decent trade which you can take, right? Trading में patience is the most important thing, right? You have to sit and wait for your setup to mature before you enter anywhere. Yeah. Guys, ask me any question if you have. today one setup has triggered, right? Only one setup has triggered since morning. It triggered couple of times. First time whoever would have entered, I missed it, has given more than 1:3. Second time that same setup has given only 1:2, 1:3, but it was a difficult one. I personally gave that trade on the live stream, and I think most of us would have made money there, right? If not for anything, so if the same trend continues, I may not take any other trade for the day. I would wait and watch and see, right? Can you please explain Tata Chemical call? Prava, I have actually covered that in my Nifty analysis video. If you can let me know, you have, if you have followed it, right? It was a clear-cut bullish formation. From there, there is a target upside, right? It hit the target today, and from there it has fallen. Why our markets are in contrast to? Can we assume long build up in call OIS, short covering in OI pulse data? नहीं, लॉन्ग बिल्डअप एंड शॉर्ट कवरिंग अलग होता है. शॉर्ट्स कब कवर होंगे राहुल आपके? जब मार्केट में नए शॉर्ट्स हैं तो शॉर्ट्स कवर होंगे. लॉन्ग बिल्डअप इज सेपरेट. सो इफ योर प्राइस इज इंक्रीजिंग, ओपन इंटरेस्ट इज इंक्रीजिंग, इट इज सपोज टू बी योर longs are getting added in the system. So that I'll create separate video. I think there is a quadrant that you guys can. Part 1 of live analysis, Nanda, I'll check with Preetham. I think we had uploaded. There were some issues, right? I think what is happening, we have uploaded whenever we are trying to upload the video, right? There is an SD and HD format, right? In which market is in which these videos get uploaded, right? While we are doing a SD content here, HD content, right? So it's a 120 MB file, which is becoming 248, 250 MB file. So that file is not being allowed by YouTube to upload, right? And we are surprised. We have reached out to Google support to figure out why that file is not uploading, and that is where the idea of doing a live stream is, if you do it through Google, right, on YouTube, they don't have any issues. But if we are doing live sessions on Zoom and we are trying to upload, some of the files are getting rejected, right? So we had to split certain files and upload it in certain cases, or some places we had to cut the file size. Yeah. How to interpret option chart? Karthikeyan, how to interpret option chart? So I generally look at supports there, right, and logical resistances, right? With volume, if you see a big bar forming down, and I'm waiting right now 2:30 and 3 o'clock ke beech mein, I will switch on the volume tab as well, and we will demo it live, right, with you guys. Expiry setup on stocks, or this 15-minute setup. 15-minute setup on stocks, right, Prabha? In fact, my daily analysis I am actually picking up. I am showing the same thing. So HAL, right, yesterday I have explained the entire HAL video. The moment the first and second both go through, right, which one would you mind to show it quickly? The gap theory, Nanda. Wait, I'll try and show it to you. So Prava, the HAL setup that I have shown, right, actually talks about that same thing. Video 1, once it gets uploaded, right, have a look at it. Else I will take it separately in one of the session, right, where I will only focus on stocks, will not talk about index. So I'll try to cover it over a weekend, where we only talk about how to pick up stocks, and as in HAL has it, go through it. HAL का setup मैंने कल समझाया ना, उसमें है. If it doesn't show up, right, if that video is not uploaded, I will do it separately on a weekend, where I will only show you have a large bar, inside bars, and then how to take that trade. Yeah, but HAL I have actually explained it. HAL I have explained that trade completely. Yesterday I think we took up couple of examples. HAL I broadly remember where I said where I would have entered, and now why I entered at a certain point, right? It was a breakout retest. Why did I enter there? So I have actually explained that trade there. Okay, now gap theory, right? Let me quickly show it. I think Nanda, it's yesterday's bank Nifty, right? That is where you had a gap theory, right? I'm using TradingView chart. There might be slight, okay. Yeah, stocks, Prava, go through the HL video first. If you have any doubts, let me know. I will try and cover it later. Yeah. Okay, so here, right, the gap theory that I had explained yesterday, this is a broad support in the market, right? Why? After result there is a big bearish Marubozu candle which has taken a support, gone up, right? Again came down, took a support here with a big bullish candle. What you should then do is, from this level, right, just take the gap, right, the opening price and the prior day closing price, right, is where you place your Fibonacci. Once this market takes a support, you enter with your first target as 50%, right? So this was the first target that we had in our mind here, 43,236, right? Now ideally, if this candle is not getting breached, this price, right, you wait for another level of support. At the opening price you again enter for the closing price, but your first target should be this. You have to exit, then again wait for a price action, and then again take a long trade for the upside, right? This is the gap theory. So gaps act as a support and resistance. Typically 50% of gap, right, 50% of the gap will act as first level of resistance if it is formed upside. If it is formed downside, it will act as a support there, right? Here, if you want to take an option selling trade at the gap, you can actually switch to a lower time frame. This indecision candle, right, this was big, so here the trade did not trigger, but sometimes what happens, you have a narrow candle here below that candle, right, you can take a trade for the opening price as well, right? Understood? Any questions? If there are no questions, we can proceed forward. Yeah. Cool. So the idea is, see, again I always say, right, market is very logical. It moves from one support to another support. It moves from one resistance to another resistance, right? So 50% is the first resistance. Then it will come down. Ideally it should take a support at a level. From there it should again go up, right? So from one support to another support, from one resistance to another resistance. 50% ke baad the next resistance is at the 100% level, right? The gap, which is the closing candle. So yesterday the second trade, in fact we gave those trades, gap theory ka trades, live in the market. Okay. So this strike has got actually nothing. Guys, I am using OI Pulse. You can rather than, again, in case you have subscription, you can log in and see. If you don't, you can make use of my screen and see if there is any trade, right? Right now if you see, there is no trade, right? There is no side which is confused. Okay, we will proceed to 43,600 and see something is actually showing up here. Again here there is nothing, very minor short covering on the put side. This side is also no confusion, right? We'll come down to 43,400 and see. Again, now here if you see 28 and 15, right, some confusion being shown here, guys. 14-13 lakhs, right, some confusion shown here, right? Now if between 230 and 245 also, right, if you see a huge amount of short build up, new build up here, right, at 43,400, if you get 14, 13, 31, right, so you need 15 to 16 lakh contracts being added here. These, right, then become ripe for covering, right? So 43,400 is a strike that I am targeting. If here you get 16 to 18 lakh contracts being added, 16 to 18 lakhs contract being added, I may attempt a short covering in this strike, right? Which means my levels for trading, I will have to now see, again it has given a sweep candle, nothing. If it takes a support somewhere between 43,401 and 382, this place, right? This is the place where I am looking at going long, right? So given the way option data, so I have a spot chart. Now I'll go to option chart as well and see how is this. Okay, I'll have to redo this. Sorry, just give me a minute, I'll have to redo this. That chart has got frozen. Just give me a minute, for some reason the chart got froze here. Okay. At least our setup, right, has not formed. The expiry setup is not formed at all. Cool. I am just observing this, right? Okay, these would be my Nifty bank, right? Okay, I'll wait for the sweep candle to be formed here, right? So our setup has not formed. Now I'll continue to observe this if something is actually happening. The new build up, right? This build up should be more than 15 to 16 lakhs for me. The idea is, if you see covering here, right, 14, 13, 27, 28 plus 5, right, 33. So I'm looking at 15-16 lakh build up here, and then a covering in this particular call. Let's wait and watch. Okay, so this fellow has got swept, right? This fellow has got swept. If it gets swept here, I have kept the volume tab open, right? This candle has got the highest volume. I'll just switch to a 3-minute chart in this one, because if we have to execute, the execution has to be really fast, right? The highest volume is here. Okay, we will wait. So I personally, if I have to take a trade now, right, I am waiting for a retest this particular option, right? Around 44, if I get, I will take a trade. Hero 0, but today Hero 0's movement will be very slow. I am not expecting a big movement today, and we'll see what is moving the market. So in fact everything is aligned. So if you see HDFC, Kotak, right, this is a pair which is going up. ICICI, Axis, which is a pair, right? So Axis is coming, Axis is showing some sort of resistance at the top, but ICICI is suddenly become bullish. So ICICI above 922 could go. SBI is definitely bullish because it's coming towards the opening candle, right? So actually everything is aligning itself for a bullish movement. We'll just keep a 5-minute VIX and see. Okay, VIX is also coming down. Fair. If you get a dip here, right, it may be a good idea to go long. Again, as I said, fresh set of call writers are being added on 43,400. I want to see that movement right up to I want to see that movement right up to 16 to 18 lakhs. Okay, there is. Okay, these guys are continuously covering. 43,400 में abnormal, there is nothing. 43,500. I don't think we may get a zero. Okay, here there is an abnormal build up now, right? Throughout the day this guy was in control, right? There is an abnormal build up here. Wait, we'll have to wait. I doubt today we may get a good 0-0 trade, guys. Basis our setup at least. We'll wait and see. Okay, this guy, right? 43,500 P, right? Sorry. Two possibilities: above 35, buy this, keep a stop loss of 24. This one, if you get it 44, buy it with a stop loss at 36, right? Either side, whichever side the trade triggers, only take this trade if you have made profit in the morning. Don't risk more than 10% of your capital, right? Today, in all probabilities, we may not get a 0-0 trade. Yeah, just give me a minute. So it's mostly on call side, right? Put side, I don't think now you will get anything. It's on call side, but you will have to wait for a dip so that you can enter. Don't enter right now, it may lead to big loss. Just wait for a dip. Don't be in a rush. We have 15 minutes. Wait for a dip. It's a simple breakout, retest, breakout setup which will get triggered, right? Stop loss, if it comes down to 43,484, your stop loss should be 43,450 on a spot chart and enter the trade, right? But it's looking like a call in all probabilities. Again, the perfect setup has not got triggered. You don't have any abnormal behavior here in any of the charts. It's gonna be a normal. So if this, right, it's gonna be a normal call writers covering. This guy will have to see the position. So I'm just looking at a dip to enter the trade. HDFC has actually blasted. HDFC, it will get its support from ICICI also if it continues the momentum. Wait for it to come to 43,484 to 490 level. Don't be in a rush. The option premiums will melt. You will not have any space to actually get the trades, guys. That is where when I was looking at data, right, I had the same feeling that today the setup may not trigger, and even if the setup triggers, don't have a high hope from the setup in terms of delivering very high returns. The reason is, if you see, right, the way the option players are placed, right, there was no volume yesterday, there is no volume which has come in the market today. I am not looking at that is where I was not looking at any big hero zero trade. There is some volume activity in the end after 220, 225, right, there is some volume build up here, but if you see, it's very feeble, right? So we will get a trade on the, we will try to take a trade on the long side, right? Let it come down to 43,484, right? It's come, yeah, enter somewhere here around 44, right? Enter 44 or 48, right? I think, yeah, enter here, place 36 as a stop loss. Is the candle stuck or what? Guys, people have done the entry. Just put a thumbs up if you guys have. Guys, entry has been done. Okay, for some reason, okay, how many entered here? Guys, trail now, it's at 68. Anyone who has done the entry, please trail. I am not expecting a big movement from hero zero today, as I mentioned on the call. It is not gonna be moving big, right? Okay, it came down, but I had discussed the levels earlier. Nanda, I had said enter at 48. Fine. For people who entered, just try and during the meeting, right, that is what we were discussing. If it takes a breakout retest, right, at retest take an entry, focus on 43,500 or 43,400 call. I will wait and see if this closes above 70. I am hoping for it to go to 80, 85, right? Otherwise I will exit my trade now. Okay, this has given a good move now. I am gonna hold this one 75. Right, let's see if it goes to 80 or not. 80. Okay, this is where there is a resistance, guys. Exit some part of your quantity now. If you have taken the trade, exit please. It's at 80, exit please, guys. Exit guys. It's a resistance, exit and hold 10 to 15% of quantity. If it okay, I have exited the entire quantity. 83 was the high. I exited everything at 78. Right, perfect. How many were able to enter? Again, my chart got stuck for some time on Zerodha, but we had discussed the levels earlier. How many were able to enter? I hope at least 15 or 20 members, right, out of 47 who were there live were able to take the trade. Guys, 48 an entry, 36 was the stop loss against 12 rupees, right? You have got an entry which has fetched you 32 rupees. It's a fantastic entry. Today I said I am not expecting big movement because if you see the option players, right, have not taken big positions either side. There is no volume. In fact, right now there was a volume which came in the option. So if you see, there is volume which is coming here, but beyond that, if you see, right, there is nothing which is there in the market to suggest that it is gonna make a direction and move upside or downside, right? So it was gonna be sluggish. It was expected, right? Luckily we got an entry, and I hope basis the entry, right, people have made their exit safely. Yeah, we'll wait. See, again, there is time. We will wait and see where the market wants to go. But I personally feel today, if you have made money now, rather than risking, right, on any hero zero trades, just wait out and see where the market wants to go. It's actually at the resistance. None of the options, right, have got big place to move, right? So I personally feel it will dip, it will go here and there. It will not give big movement, right? Any side, it will not give a big movement. Guys, again, made money, then stay away from the market. This options could decay very quickly, guys. This one could decay very quickly. It could take out your hard earned money. I would want to just be cautious today rather than erring on the side of aggression. Yeah, okay, we'll see where the candles are closing, guys. We will see. I personally see this as a good resistance here. Again, I'm not advising anyone to short. Please don't short the market right now. It is at a place where it can actually continue the short covering momentum. The reason for the short covering momentum is very clearly, if you see, HDFC actually propelled, now Kotak, all our components are coming in. ICICI is also good, at a good place, above 922, 920, right? It can also give 15-20 points upside during expiry, right? That is the only thing that markets need, right? They move 20-30 points, the other bank comes, supports it by 50-60 points, you are done. Your put premium, right, will completely get wiped out. So guys, don't take any trade now, right? We have made our money. We do not need to risk anything. So quickly, guys, how was the trade, right? I know it was not the classical hero zero, and okay, you had entered early, Sid Sudhakar, okay, good. But yeah, again, I want to keep my process repeatable. Well, guys, the only reason is anything which cannot be repeated, right, gives a lot of headache. So given I trade with quantity, I like to keep the process simple and repeatable. And yeah, good Harsha, good. See, again, it's okay. Many people would make money, many people would not make big money. Don't look at other person's lot size and the idea is, through this live session, right, that we are doing, try to learn. See, today you guys are joining this live session because you feel that there is some knowledge, there is some call that I would give, right? I would just invert the table and say, why not focus on learning? Why you are focusing on earning money, right? If you learn, right, you would be earning money throughout, right? Why are you being dependent on someone? Rather become independent, learn setups from people, learn how, and once you learn the setup, right? So what did I say? There are 4 things in any trader's journey, right? Process, which is the setup. पहले आप process and setup अपना firm up करो, right? जो आपका money in the bank है. Second है वो process and setup को discipline से execute करना. ठीक है? Discipline is nothing but if it is not coming to your level, right? Don't execute. So while I was on the call, 40-50 people were watching me, right? Everyone had joined to see if there is a hero zero that I am able to come up with or not. It's okay if the trade has not come. I am not forcing a setup, right? I am continuously looking at data. There is no trade. I clearly told you there is no trade using this setup. Please don't take this trade. We will take a breakout, retest, breakout setup, right? So my process and setups, the knowledge helps me with various setups that I can execute at any given point of time. The discipline will help you understand when to sit back and relax, when to be aggressive and take a trade, right? The first 2 points generally happens in the initial 2 to 4 years of a trader's life. Third point is having patience. When I say patience, not jumping around, not switching from call to put to call, and then continuously taking trade because of the itch in the fingers, right? And once you have defined a risk, look at a reward and exit there, right? That is the third point. Fourth one, journal and feedback, right? Today's trade we did not get with our setup. Journal and feedback. What is the feedback here? The alternative when our trade doesn't execute, when you don't see an abnormal behavior, is very simply put, you have a alternate setup which is breakout, retest, breakout, which gets triggered. Whenever this thing gets triggered, don't have a big expectation on risk and reward. Protect your capital. We are saying it's a range bound. Now the other thing importantly that you should also make a note, right? So while I am talking, I am saying it will be a range bound one, neither it will go up and down. Journal and see, this is what Nilay mentioned, this is what the person who was taking a session mentioned, what exactly happened in the market, right? Both those things mention, you will get a clear sense of whether the person's ability to read the chart, right, was good or was it far off, right? All these things will help you, right? So idea is we are learning in the market, and again we all have spent a lot of time to learn. We have spent time, made mistakes. Through our mistakes, right, we have paid a big penalty to the market. The idea is when I am trading, right, I will make money. When I am trying to take a session, I want to ensure my knowledge, my mistakes, I am drilling it in you to not repeat those. Yeah, perfect. I know guys it was not the zero hero जो आपने expect किया था, but still for the session timing that you have attended, पैसा बन गया, आपका time waste नहीं हुआ है. I am at least happy that the time was not wasted for people. ठीक है, अब last 30 minutes में again we have made money, we don't need to bother. Now we can relax and see what exactly can be the movement of the market. So against all the odds, right, today market has actually gone up. Entire world market was muted, gold had gone to 2080. Against all odds, right, market went up. So interesting hai, Indian market has actually disconnected itself from the global markets. Yeah. Hey, thanks Shubham, thanks Rahul for your comments, right? Shubham is an SMC trader, so Shubham has connected with me once, and he was the guy who actually introduced us to one of the good SMC concepts. So this thing coming from Shubham, right, I actually take it as a compliment. Yeah, it's okay उत्कर्ष, आएगा धीरे धीरे करके कॉन्फिडेंस आएगा. एक ही कॉन्सेप्ट आप बार बार ड्रिल करोगे ना, आपके सबकॉन्शियस मेमोरी में बैठ जाएगा. Yeah, short building on put is more than 35 lakh, but अब प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना, नए कोई हर्षा, now what will happen is you need new players also to enter, right? Those new players, if they enter in last 10-15 minutes, by the time your trade gets executed, the day would have got closed, because at 3:15, right, no one would trade now, right? No, the problem is if it's happened between 2:45 and 3, right? So new players, if they enter, they will enter between 3 and 3:15. You would not be able to enter this week's contract, क्योंकि इस वीक का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अगर आप एंटर करोगे ना 3:15 के बाद, चार्ट मूव होगा, योर प्राइस विल नॉट मूव. सो वॉट एवर हैपन्स बिटवीन 3 and 3:15, इफ यू वांट टू ट्राई, यू कैन लुक एट नेक्स्ट वीक्स कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एंड ट्राई इट, बट वो जीरो हीरो नहीं होगा अभी. ठीक है. Yeah. Now see, in a session, right, both the things are important. Execution of setup, and sometimes when the setup is not happening, so you have a plan A. When I came, right, I had a plan A. I wanted to do an expiry live trade with you guys, wherein I wanted to teach you the setup that we have taught you, right, or wanted to execute that setup. This is what I am feeling, right? ये मुझे लग रहा है कि मुझे ये आपको सिखाना है, but market is saying I don't want to allow you to do it, right? So as a trader, market will throw curve balls. मार्केट आपको हमेशा धक्का मारेगा कहीं और. आपका स्किल है कि आपको अपने जगह पे रुकना है, be stable, wait. Okay, what you were planning did not happen, you get into plan B and execute on plan B. ठीक है, ये एक बहुत ही आज का सेशन एक इम्पोर्टेंट लर्निंग है हम सबके लिए कि आप एक चीज के लिए वेट कर रहे थे, वो नहीं हुआ, तो आप अभी प्लान बी में चले जाओ एंड प्लान बी में आप अपना ट्रेड एग्जीक्यूट करो. बट प्लान बी जब आप एग्जीक्यूट करोगे, योर माइंड हैज टू बी क्लियर that risk reward that you are expecting with plan A cannot be there in plan B, right? So just keep that thing in mind and it will help you trade with a lot of peace, right? Importantly, how many guys are learning, right, through some of the things we are trying to teach? This trade has actually rocketed up, but again we had a definite entry and exit plan. We exited there. This has rocketed up 43,500. See, it's okay, as in I am not worried about what we are not making. So it's gone from 80 to 160, so it's actually become 3x, right? So people who would have entered at 48, it's become 3x, but it's okay. Our plan was to exit here, we exited here. Don't have any qualms of not being able to execute that trade. So guys, how was the learning today, right? You saw it live in the market. How was the learning? इम्पॉर्टेंट है, आपको लर्न करते रहना है मार्केट में आप कभी भी एंड सी अगेन आई सेड दैट आई एग्जीक्यूट माय ट्रेड्स एंड आई एग्जिट लॉजिकली. थ्रू आउट द डे आई मेड 1.5%. थ्रू दिस ट्रेड आई मेड मोर देन 2-3%, राइट? सो माय टारगेट फॉर द डे इज जनरली 2-3%. आई मेड good enough money. This movement which happened after 80, right, had I made decent profit in the first half, right, then I could have held on to 15-20% quantity and tried to trail it. Given my first half today, I missed the trade because of the system glitch, right? Now taking that risk, right, is slightly difficult, right? So it's always commensurate to the risk. Reward is always commensurate to the risk that you can take. Whatever risk you can take, right, market will always reward you against that risk, right? So higher the risk, higher the reward, right? We need to be calculative in our risk. We should not take an abnormal risk where we are expecting an abnormal reward, right? Because abnormal risk means if it wipes out, you are actually then left with nothing. And what did I say? What will happen in the market in the last hour, last 15-20 minutes, if this actually goes up, right? Kotak was going up. I said everything will align, right? We'll see what happened. Kotak has actually gone up. HDFC has gone up by 2-3 points. Look at this. This went up by 2 points. Axis went up from 863 to 865. These 2 points. Now on the day of expiry, these are contributing 20 points to Bank Nifty chart, right? And SBI has actually gone up by 1.5 point. So 15 from here, 20 from here, 25 from 20 from here, 25 from here. HDFC has given 15-20 points. This fellow has given more than 20-30 points, right? This is good, right? If you see 15, 20, 25, right, 60 and 50 coming from here, 110 points, right? That is the movement which has come here from 43,510 to 43,638. This is how markets move on the day of expiry. Yeah, got a clear idea about how to trade, how to look at market, friends. I would be see again, money, right, we all will make, right? If we are there in the market, we will make money, right? If our mind is clear, if we understand setup, if we know how to execute, right? Today we would have not made a very big amount of money, but at least we have not lost anything from our pocket, right? The idea is if you don't make big, don't lose big, or don't lose at all, right? So important यही है कि आप सेटअप सीखें. वो सेटअप्स के साथ से आई एम यूजिंग लॉट ऑफ टूल्स, राइट? Feedback that I got from some of the participants was not everyone has access to the tools. The reason I am doing this live session, right, so that you guys can access the same tools that some of us are using, right? So अभी आप वो टूल से समझे, आप देखें कि कैसे हम ट्रेड्स ले रहे हैं, एंड अब वहाँ से देखें. See guys, I am very happy that many people have made money, right? And some people who could not enter, right? It's okay, right? It's okay. You could not make money, which is fine. आज नहीं कल मिलेगा. ज़ीरो अब तो एक्सपायरी पे मतलब आपको ट्यूसडे भी होता है और थर्सडे भी होता है, राइट? 2 एक्सपायरीज मिलती है आपको ट्रेड करने के लिए. सो आइडिया है कि आप सेटअप सीखें एंड धीरे 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 करके आपको काफ़ी कुछ जैसे सीखने. सी वंस यू लर्न, राइट, दीज थिंग्स हैपन वीक इन वीक आउट, राइट? एक आध 2 हफ्ते छूट जाएगा, एक आध 2 हफ्ते लॉसेस लगेंगे, बट इन अ जनरल टर्म, राइट, अगर आपने 4 से 5 हफ्ते आउट ऑफ 8 हफ्ते पैसे बना दिए तो ये 0 ट्रेड्स में ना आपके 3x 4x होते हैं. सो यू विल मेक बिग मनी देयर, राइट? So the idea is your risk reward, which is where I said, right, the third part of the entire checklist that I always talk about, right, is how you can be patient, right? मैं लॉस लेने के लिए पेशेंट हूँ, मैं मेरा रिवॉर्ड लेने के लिए भी पेशेंट रहूँगा. द मोमेंट आई एम पेशेंट देयर, राइट, आई विल मेक सम मनी, राइट? देन आई डोंट नीड टू वरी अबाउट हाउ मच मार्केट इज गोना गिव मी. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट एक्सपायरी बना लेंगे. यस, okay, the call I will explain the end. Okay, fair, I will explain, Prava. So let's look at the chart, right? Here, right, we were looking at 43,500 CE. ठीक है, ये था मेरा चार्ट. ठीक है, मैंने यही चार्ट को एनालाइज किया था. अब सॉरी, मेरा थीसिस क्या था, या तो पुट यहाँ पे एक सपोर्ट लेने के लिए एक स्वीप कैंडल बनाना चाहिए. क्या इसने स्वीप कैंडल बनाया? नहीं. ये अगर आप देखेंगे यहाँ पे कोई वॉल्यूम्स ही नहीं था. ठीक है, तो ये फर्स्ट पार्ट है. ठीक है, अच्छा, अब यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे ये क्या कर रहा है, एक ट्रेंड लाइन का ब्रेकआउट दिया इसने यहाँ पे. ठीक है, ट्रेंड लाइन का ब्रेकआउट देके, क्योंकि मेरा स्वीप वाला एंड ऑप्शन अबनॉर्मल ऑप्शन वाला सेटअप नहीं ट्रिगर हुआ है, तो स्पॉट चार्ट में ना हम ये चीज देख रहे थे. ठीक है, स्पॉट चार्ट में हम देख रहे थे कि एक ब्रेकआउट एंड रीटेस्ट हो, जो यहाँ पे था, जो डे हाई का ब्रेकआउट एंड रीटेस्ट हो, वो यहाँ पे था. ठीक है, वो यहाँ पे था, ये वो पॉइंट 43,500 एंड 500 पे. ठीक है, यहाँ पे था, ये स्पॉट चार्ट में था. ठीक है, अब चलते हैं ऑप्शन चार्ट में. ऑप्शन चार्ट में मेरे पास क्या था, ऑप्शन चार्ट में यहाँ से मैं जब नीचे आ रहा था, इस पार्ट पे इस जोन में मेरे पास एक सपोर्ट बन रहा था. ठीक है, यहाँ पे इस पार्ट में मेरे पास एक सपोर्ट बन रहा था. तो ये लेवल पे अगर आप देखेंगे, ये 2 हाइज देख रहे हैं आप, 227 एंड 230 के कैंडल का, ये एग्जैक्टली 48 पे था. तो ये 48 का मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था सपोर्ट लेगा या यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा स्वीप करेगा. बट जो भी करेगा, ये देखो यहाँ पे अगर आप देखोगे एक ट्रेंड लाइन लिक्विडिटी भी है. ठीक है, ऑप्शन के चार्ट में. तो अगर ये 36 तक आता है, 36 इसका लो था. ठीक है, तो ये पूरी तरह से पस्त पड़ जाएगा. तो 36 इस स्विंग, इस ऑप्शन चार्ट का स्विंग लो था, 48 इसका सपोर्ट था. इसके ऊपर मैं एक लॉन्ग देख रहा था. ठीक है, 48 पे अगर रीटेस्ट करता तो मैं एक लॉन्ग देख रहा था. तो ये सिंपल ब्रेकआउट रीटेस्ट ब्रेकआउट चार्ट था. गाइस, दिस ऑप्शन हैज गॉन 4x फ्रॉम 48 इट हैज गॉन टू 178. अगेन, हैड आई मेड मनी टुडे इन द फर्स्ट हाफ, मैं शायद ये ऑप्शन 80 रुपीज़ पे नियरली 60 to 70% क्वांटिटी एग्जिट करके 30% क्वांटिटी रखता. नेक्स्ट अगर आप देखेंगे इस ऑप्शन चार्ट में ना, तो आपको दिखेगा भी नेक्स्ट लेवल्स क्या हैं इसके. इसके ऊपर इसका नेक्स्ट टारगेट था 120, उसके ऊपर इसका टारगेट था 168. ठीक है, तो मैं 20% शायद 120 130 पे एग्जिट करता, बाकी मैं 160 170 पे एग्जिट करता. बट इट्स ओके, एज इन दिस इज हाउ. Try to incorporate, be more holistic in your analysis. It will help you guys get a more balanced view of everything and trade more freely. आपको डर नहीं लगेगा आप जो भी कॉल्स लोगे उसमें. ठीक है, और कोई क्वेश्चन बताइए अभी. एंड अगर आप अभी जाके देखेंगे ना, जो हम अब नॉर्मल ऑप्शन एक्सपायरी वाला जो सोच रहे थे, वो ट्रिगर ही नहीं हुआ है. तो मैंने क्या कहा था, एक आपका या तो कॉल्स का शॉर्ट कवरिंग होगा जो प्योर होगा. तो कॉल्स के शॉर्ट कवरिंग के लिए आपको डिप पे लेना है. तो अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे कॉल्स का शॉर्ट कवरिंग हुआ, और कौन से कॉल का शॉर्ट कवरिंग हुआ, 43,500 का. ये देखो, ये कॉल्स 1,38,000 थे जब हम देख रहे थे यहाँ पे, इसी कॉल्स का शॉर्ट कवरिंग हुआ, ठीक है, इसका कवरिंग शुरू हुआ, कोई बाद में बिल्डअप नहीं हुआ, तो आपका अबनॉर्मल वाला कोई भी चीज बना ही नहीं है यहाँ पे, ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड? या ठीक है। सो व्हेन आई वाज एनालाइजिंग, राइट, आई वाज एनालाइजिंग बोथ कॉल एंड पुट। जब बन रहा है सेटअप, पॉइंट ए है सेटअप कि अगर मेरा प्लान ए है सेटअप में कैसे ट्रिगर करूंगा, तो सेटअप के लिए मेरे लिए बहुत ही सिंपल था। सेटअप का जो मैं ट्रेड ढूंढ रहा था वो सिंपल था। सेटअप के बाद जो दूसरा ट्रेड मैं देख रहा था वो था प्योर शॉर्ट कवरिंग। तो प्योर शॉर्ट कवरिंग जब ब्रेकआउट हुआ विद सॉलिड बॉडी, मैंने क्या कहा, रीटेस्ट पे इस पॉइंट पे आप लो, ये स्टॉप लॉस लगाओ, ठीक है। अच्छा, अब किसी किसी दिन क्या होगा, प्लान ए एंड प्लान बी दोनों फेल होंगे, ये भी होगा, तो आपका प्लान सी क्या है, स्टॉप लॉस लेके चुपचाप सिस्टम बंद कर दो, ठीक है। व्हेन प्लान ए एंड प्लान बी फेल्स, प्लान सी इज स्टॉप लॉस लो, चुपचाप सिस्टम बंद कर दो, ठीक है। गाइस, एनी क्वेश्चंस हियर? नो? ओके, कूल। With this, guys, again, now we don't have any trade, right? Anything else? Yeah, Raghavendra sir, we have got, it's a good movement up, but it's okay, as in जितना हम कैप्चर कर सकते हैं हमने कर लिया। Yeah. What else, guys? What else? Ask. Any questions? We have some time. Any questions if you guys have, I would like to address it. Should we look at the gold chart? Many people have been asking about gold and Euro USD, right? Wait, तो charting में live आता है, right? Okay. There was no PE trade. What to do? Okay, gold, right? Lakshmi, there was no PE trade, as in for the setup we were hoping there will be one, but it didn't come. So now if you see, right, ये जो important zone था ना, ये okay, यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे दो तीन चीजें हुई, राइट। RSI डाइवर्जेंस देख रहे हैं 30 मिनट चार्ट में, gold has gone up, RSI has actually come down, right? This divergence, yeah, वेंकीज का मैं चेक करता हूँ। सो गोल्ड में जब ये ऊपर गया, एक बेरिश कैंडल, अभी RSI डाइवर्जेंस कल थ्रू आउट द डे चल रहा था, तो RSI डाइवर्जेंस आपको कब डिप्लॉय करना है, जब आपको एक बेरिश कैंडल मिलता है तब, ठीक है। बेरिश कैंडल मिला, उसके रीटेस्ट पे यहाँ पे मुझे डिप्लॉय करना था, राइट। So I deployed it here. Now if you see, right, the RSI has not fallen below 45, right? It's forming rally base rally candle pen, it's taking a support, right? Up taking a support, this is just one thing, right? The second thing is you need to now wait for a move up, take out 2040, come back and retest 2035, तब आपके पास एक logical trade बनेगा। Otherwise, yeah, okay, yeah. Lakshmi, I explained it live. Don't enter put without any confirmation. Okay, yeah. So वापस यहाँ पे अगर जाके देखते हैं ना, गोल्ड में what exactly is happening, right, is you have your so you have your RSI divergence, right, which played its part. Now you have a support around basing candle, right, which is getting formed. Now once this breakout happens, right, and it has already given a breakout, you don't directly enter, right, because this you don't know what is going to happen, right. So ideally you have to wait for this formation, right. It has to come back here and then go up, right, in a stepwise manner. This could be the target, right. Now it has to go up and then come down, right? And when it is coming down, the candles need to again take a pause, right? Only then I would take a gold trade, right? Is this understood? Is this not understood? Ask me any questions that you have on this one, right? Gold, because many people asked me, I took a lot of trades. I took trades yesterday. I had one SL yesterday in volatility, but I was very clear the momentum. Guys, I had clearly stated volatility will be high, but gold is coming towards 2045, 2080. Many of my live sessions, right, at least with the 8 mentoring program, guys, right, I have said gold एक बार 1940, 1950 आएगा शायद, या 1980 से टर्न मारेगा. I think Srinivasan, I told it to you, right? I said it will never come back to these levels in this year. Probably. It may, now if it sustains high, right? My target for gold is very high, 2200, 2400, so on and so forth, right? It has to just retest a level now. But I said an all-time high will come in gold, right? During this event that happened. And yesterday I had posted it in the group also. There is volatility, so it may take out your stop loss, but for today I am seeing 2045 and about to be breached, right? Gold actually did that movement. Gold actually did that movement, right? Swing low, long position. No, wait. अभी बैंकिंग में रुक जाओ. अभी ऑलरेडी सभी कुछ प्रीमियम में चल रहा है जिगर, आप अभी रुक जाओ उसमें. Divergence suggests losing the strength, Rajal, and that loss of strength rate has given a good 30, 40, 50 point move, right? अब बेसिंग कैंडल बन गया है ना, अब एक अप मूव आएगा गोल्ड में, राइट? सी डाइवर्जेंस के एक्चुअली 2-3 कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैं. एक डाइवर्जेंस आपको हमेशा है ना, यू हैव टू पुट द मैक्रो इकोनॉमिक फैक्टर्स का लेंस अलोंग विद इट, राइट? मैक्रो इकोनॉमिकली व्हेन द दिस हाई हैपेंड इन आरएसआई, राइट, थिंग्स वर डिफरेंट. ये जब हाई बनाए डेटा आया है, तो सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस यही है. तो हमेशा आरएसआई डाइवर्जेंस के बेसिस पे ट्रेड नहीं लेते. उसका यही रीजन है, आरएसआई रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ इज ऑल्सो कंसिडरिंग, इज ओनली कंसिडरिंग प्राइस मूवमेंट, बट प्राइस मूवमेंट विच इज इम्पैक्टेड बाई इवेंट्स, राइट? यू नीड टू बी वेरी कॉशियस व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग अ ट्रेड, क्योंकि इवेंट के कारण अगर प्राइस अप गया है और डाउन आ रहा है, उस रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ का ज्यादा मीनिंग नहीं होता है फ्रॉम एन एनालिसिस स्टैंडपॉइंट व्हेन यू लुक एट प्रायर कैंडल्स. सो आरएसआई विच फॉर्म्स डाइवर्जेंस विच गेट्स फॉर्म्ड विद इन 1 or 2 days or under similar macroeconomic conditions are always good. ठीक है, अब चलते हैं. come down in a month time, very difficult, Srinivasan. In fact, when it was at 1978, 1980, right, मैंने कहा भी था यहाँ से accumulation शुरू कर देना चाहिए गोल्ड का. You and I discussed it also, right? I said it, we should accumulate. It will very soon touch, and I had given these levels also, right? एक बार 2014 क्रॉस करेगा, फिर एक हल्का सा डिप देगा और उस डिप के बाद जूम करके ऊपर जाएगा. ये मैंने कहा भी था 2014 से 2045 का जर्नी विल बी वेरी फास्ट. या नाउ वाओ, बैंक निफ्टी इज ब्लास्टिंग अप. पता नहीं हमारा हीरो जीरो कहाँ चले गया होगा. नहीं, इट इज नॉट मूव मच. It didn't move much. ठीक है, cool. Now we look at Euro USD chart. Euro USD is something I think Vivek asked for it, right? Vivek, I am just analyzing it live with you. I generally look at Oanda charts for my analysis perspective. It makes it easy for us to look at it. Yeah. ठीक है, यूरो यूएसडी में ओके, इट्स एक्चुअली ये जो सारे विक्स है ना, ये डिमांड है. ये विक्स जहाँ से ऊपर गया ना, ये सारे डिमांड है. ठीक है, अब अगर इसको देखेंगे, बहुत ही शार्प डाउन मूव आया है यहाँ पर. ठीक है, लेट्स सी इन अ स्मॉल टाइम फ्रेम. आई पर्सनली फील इट मे कम बैक टू 1.0441. यहाँ से एक लॉन्ग लिया जा सकता है विथ 1.0365 एज अ स्टॉप लॉस फॉर दीज टारगेट्स. ये मेरा मानना है. ये इधर अगर आता है एक बार, ये ऐसे जा सकता है। यहाँ पे स्टॉप लॉस छोटा है एंड रिवॉर्ड मिलने का चांसेस हाई है। ठीक है जिगर, आपका भी एक था क्वेरी एनएससी रियलिटी पे था राइट? I need to go through it. I'll check it, Srinivasan. Announcement from brokers from I'll check it and I'll come back. रियलिटी के बेल वेदर्स जिगर, आई थिंक वी कैन होल्ड। ये अच्छा कंसोलिडेट करके ऊपर ही जा रहा है। ये 450 के ऊपर अगर जाएगा ना तो ये दिस कैन टच 468 एंड 481। डीएलएफ एंड ओबेरॉय रियलिटी ने मेरे को एक बार देखने दो। ये शायद डीएलएफ, एटलीस्ट डीएलएफ एंड गोदरेज प्रॉपर्टीज आई फील विल गिव गुड रिटर्न। ये एक्चुअली अपने हाइज के ऊपर ही कंसोलिडेट कर रहा है, यहाँ से ऊपर ही जाएगा जिगर। फॉर सम रीजन आई एम सीइंग दिस रियलिटी सेक्टर राइट टू शो गुड प्रॉमिस। अब तक 2 पॉइंट का ही बना है, कोई ट्रेंड लाइन मेजर नहीं है डीएलएफ में, लेकिन डीएलएफ अराउंड 403 402 आता है तो आपको एक अच्छा मूव मिलेगा। कोई पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक था क्या जो आप देख रहे थे अपने इसमें? Was there any particular stock that you were looking at here? Prestige is a good, yeah, Venky's का चार्ट सेटअप, I'll see, wait. Venky's and I'll look at Venky's and this one and then I'll call it off. Prestige is good. Prestige every day comes on my radar, but then I don't give it because it's a cash market stock. Venky's एक बॉटमिंग आउट हो रहा है प्रावा, ये बॉटमिंग आउट हो रहा है। इसको ये यहाँ तक है ना, बुलिश तो नहीं है, इसका बॉटमिंग आउट हो रहा है। ये इस लेवल पे है ना कंसोलिडेट करके एक रीटेस्ट करेगा इधर, मतलब ये मई जून में मूव होगा। दिस इज इट्स बॉटमिंग आउट इन माय ओपिनियन। बॉटमिंग आउट देन गो अप, ब्रेक दिस ट्रेंड लाइन, कम बैक, रीटेस्ट अराउंड 1620 अगर मिलता है। 1620 भी बड़ा, इसका स्टॉप लॉस बहुत बड़ा है। कैंडल्स क्या है इसकी, बड़ी बड़ी आ रही है क्या डेली? मेरे हिसाब से यहाँ पे इसको कंसोलिडेट करना चाहिए बिटवीन दीज टू लेवल्स राइट। दिस शुड कंसोलिडेट वेल, बट अगेन इफ यू सी राइट विथ अ डिसेंट फॉल, आफ्टर अ डिसेंट फॉल एक इन्वर्टेड हैमर बनाया इधर इसने। ठीक है, ये पक्का ट्रेड फ्रॉम बॉटम सेटअप में आया होगा, काफ़ी लोगों ने स्टॉक फिनिक्स से उठाया होगा। ये पक्का ट्रेड फ्रॉम बॉटम था। किसी ने अगर यहाँ पे लिया था ना, इस पॉइंट पे, ये पॉइंट पे बाइंग किया है विद दिस स्टॉप लॉस, तो ये 1:1 के ऊपर मिल गया होगा तो ट्रेल करना चाहिए। बट एट दिस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जहाँ पे है, ये कंसोलिडेट करके ऊपर जाएगा, ट्रेंड लाइन ब्रेक करेगा, रीटेस्ट करेगा, तो आपके पास स्टॉप लॉस लगाने की जगह। अगर आप देखेंगे ना, इसमें जो पहला जो ट्रेड था ट्रेड फ्रॉम बॉटम, वो तो छूट गया। अभी ट्रेंड लाइन लिक्विडिटी बना रहा है, लिक्विडिटी बना के जब इधर आएगा ना, ये ऐसे शायद ऊपर जाते 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 एक बार इधर आएगा ना, तो यहाँ पे आपको एक ट्रेड मिलेगा इसका। I will quickly look at Prestige. Prestige Estates is a very good stock. In fact मेरे रडार में हर दिन आता है। ये ब्रेकआउट आज दे दिया है इसने। ये वीक अगर क्लोज करते हैं ना इसके ऊपर, इसे ब्रेकआउट दे दिया है शायद। ये इसके ऊपर क्लोज करता है, ये ब्रेकआउट दे दिया। ये आइडियली अब 494 एंड 512 के बीच में कंसोलिडेट करेगा, फिर जाएगा 553 वगैरह। इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टैंड पॉइंट से इट्स अ गुड स्टॉक। इन्वर्टेड हैमर एट 50%, नहीं वेंकीज इन्वर्टेड हैमर एट 50% नहीं, वो नीचे ही है। ये नीचे ही है, ये पूरा स्विंग है ना, ये तो ब्रेक था स्विंग का, तो ये स्विंग लो हुआ, ये मेरा स्विंग हाई हुआ। आप इसको पूरा इम्पल्स कंसिडर कर रहे हो क्या? ये आप इसको भी अगर कंसिडर कर रहे हो ना, ये डिस्काउंट में बन चुका है, 50% पे नहीं है। डीएलएफ देख लिया मैंने जिगर में, ओबेरॉय में चेक करता हूँ, बट अगर आप ये पूरा ये एक्चुअली देखोगे ना तो ये इनसाइड स्विंग चल रहा है वीकली में, तो आप इसको कंसिडर, मेरे हिसाब से डेली में अगर आप देखोगे ये एक ब्रेक ऑफ स्ट्रक्चर के बाद है। आई फील इट्स अ प्रॉपर ट्रेड फ्रॉम बॉटम सेटअप। इसने रीटेस्ट जब किया था तब बाय था, अब हमारे लिए यहाँ पे बीच में बाय नहीं है। रियलिटी कंसोलिडेशन में जिगर, दिस इज नथिंग कंसोलिडेशन में। आई थिंक प्रेस्टीज इज बेटर प्लेस्ड, डीएलएफ इन सबसे अच्छा प्रेस्टीज इज बेटर प्लेस्ड इन टर्म्स ऑफ मूवमेंट राइट नाउ। ठीक है, आई गेस वी विल कॉल इट ऑफ, राइट? We will call it off and then we'll pick it up again, but I hope everyone is having a good expiry, right? At least if not for anything, try to just master the setups and trade on those setups. You will gradually be able to see again gold, as we are expecting, right, is going up. Let it go up, come back, retest and then take. This is where, right, I say the discipline and patience aspect, right, of you will help you to trade easily. ठीक है? Any questions guys? Any questions? If no, we will close it off. Okay. Thank you so much. We will save this playlist again, watch it, share it with people in case there are certain finer points. You can revisit the sections in the playlist. Read में मेरे को check करना पड़ेगा शुभम. I'll have to check and I'll come back to you. मार्च में जो मैंने अप्रैल के ऑप्शंस दिए थे, 38,300 वाज द सपोर्ट, एंड मेरा प्लान क्या था, मेरा टारगेट था 48,200। जो बजट डे कैंडल थी ना वो वापस रीटेस्ट हुई नहीं थी, तो मुझे क्या लगा था एक बार इसको टच करके नीचे आएगा, क्योंकि 35,800 पे इजंट गोल्ड अलाउड फॉर हेजिंग? गोल्ड इज अलाउड फॉर हेजिंग नटिश, या सो मेरा रीज़न था कि 42,000 पे वापस आएगा और वहाँ से वापस गिर सकता है या तो कंसोलिडेट कर सकता है। सो इन माई माइंड, राइट, बिकॉज दिस इज एन इलेक्शन ईयर इन इंडिया, एज इन नेक्स्ट ईयर, सो आफ्टर October, राइट, दिस बजट, आई थिंक वी विल गेट कांट बी ट्रेड इन गोल्ड विथ प्लेज्ड मार्जिन, वी कैन MCX, I don't know, right? I typically trade in forex, but I can check and I can come back to you, but I don't think there is any margin bid for MCX trades. It could be for gold bees. ओके, सो मेरा रीज़न क्या था कि 40, मुझे लगा था कि ये पूरा इधर इंडिया में इलेक्शन है तो नवंबर में हमारे यहाँ पे सारे बजट के अनाउंसमेंट्स आ जाएंगे और उसके बाद सभी कुछ होल्ड, देयर विल बी नो पॉपुलिस्ट मेजर्स, एंड यूएस में नेक्स्ट ईयर इलेक्शन है तो आफ्टर मार्च, राइट, देयर विल बी नो पॉपुलिस्ट मेजर्स अनाउंस देयर। सो मार्केट एक बार ऊपर जाएगा फिर वापस नीचे आएगा, बिटवीन 38 एंड 42,000 इट विल स्टे विद इन दैट 4,000 पॉइंट रेंज। तो 38,300 वाज अ गुड पॉइंट जहाँ से आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग अ टर्न अराउंड टिल 41,800 42,000, राइट, वो था। हाँ, इट्स नॉट अलाउिंग फॉर MCX इन जीरो था, बिकॉज आप NSE के एक्सचेंज में बीज वगैरह खरीदते हो या स्टॉक्स खरीदते हो, MCX एंड NSE एज एन एक्सचेंज इज नॉट synced, that's why margin may not work. Got it, Prava, or any question there? Now I feel now it's at a zone where सर 15 मिनट में मत देखो, लंबा इसका देखो, कभी भी मत देखो 15-15 मिनट में। आप स्विंग ट्रेडिंग के लिए देख रहे हो, वैसे 15-15 मिनट में मत देखो, ठीक है। कूल 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 गाइस, आई थिंक व्हाट विल डू इज विल कॉल इट ऑफ अ डे. I hope everyone had a nice learning session. Along with that, the trade definitely crude, right? Crude, in my opinion, will fall freely. WTI. Don't make positions in crude right now. I am not seeing a good movement there. ये इसको थोड़ा so initially, right, when it was at high points, I had given a low of this gap to be met, right? अभी ये एक्चुअली नीचे ही नीचे चल रहा है. मुझे यहाँ पे थोड़ा वेट करके देखना है क्रूड में एग्जैक्टली स्टोरी क्या है. कल इसने एक अच्छा डिप दिया है. इट्स ए लेट इट कंसोलिडेट फॉर सम टाइम. ये इस जोन के आसपास जब तक नहीं जाता ना, 70-71 टेकआउट नहीं करता, तब तक नथिंग. क्रूड ऑप्शंस आई विल ट्राई एंड स्टडी एंड आई विल पुट इट, राघवेंद्र सर. राइट नाउ नो ट्रेड्स इन क्रूड. Right now no trades in crude. In fact, it's actually trading below all the support levels. Yesterday it has taken a sweep, so there is a potential entry that we may have. If you see, this support rate was breached and during the Fed announcement, and it has gone up. Now we need to again wait for a consolidation before it could go up. I'll give any crude options if I find one. ठीक है. Cool guys. Thanks. Fair. We will call it a day. Thanks everyone for sharing your valuable time with us. We will try and we'll upload this video. This will get naturally uploaded. You can go through it again. Yeah. नहीं, मैं SMC से ही ट्रेड करता हूँ. I will try and take a class. It's not so easy to take a class. In fact, one has to go through the whole 9 years. SMC is smart money concept, Natesh. So SMC पे ट्रेड्स बनते हैं इंडियन मार्केट में भी. मैं तो SMC से ही लेता हूँ, मगर उसको ट्रेड करने के लिए आपके कॉन्सेप्ट्स बहुत ही स्ट्रांग होने चाहिए. ठीक है. कूल. थैंक यू गाइज. ओके.